Good morning, everybody. My name is Robin and welcome to my channel, BirdsEyeStitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you're returning, then also welcome. Thank you so much for coming back today and for subscribing and leaving comments. All of the things that make making Flosstube videos so enjoyable. Getting to connect with all of you guys is probably, well, it is the best part of making these videos. So thank you for being here and for taking the time to do that. Let's see, I said good morning. I don't know why I say good morning. It is not morning. It is afternoon. Afternoon on Saturday, January the 2nd, 2021. So we have made it through the new year. New Year, of course, if you've watched my videos, and you probably know that New Year is my very favorite holiday. I also love Christmas, but New Year is my jam. You know, it's like the new start, the new year, all of the plans and the prepping, and I like to start everything at the beginning, and like there is no other beginning. It's like the beginning of the beginning, you know, January 1. So I know you can really start at any time, and that works for many people, but my brain, it likes the first. So Happy New Year to everybody. I spent New Year's with my family, my daughter, my husband, my dog, who was terrified of fireworks, was hanging out on the sofa with me. My neighbors on both sides, who are fantastic, they were having a party, and we could not attend either of them because we had to attend to the dog, who was completely freaked out over all of the fireworks that were going off. But that was okay. We spent the evening, you know, watching movies, eating junk food, falling asleep at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Well, falling asleep. I mean, my dog, every time something would, like a firework would go off, he would pace and run. So it wasn't like truly asleep, but yeah, New Year's, it was good. I've had time off of work, which means I watched some good Netflix. I binge watched the show Bridgerton, I think it's called. Pretty sure. I think that's what it's called. It's like #1 on Netflix, so lots of people are watching it right now, but I got pretty sucked in. I watched one episode, like 7 hours later, I'd finished 7 episodes, so I didn't finish the whole series, but I got through 7 episodes in one sitting, which I don't do very often, so you know, kind of predictable, but I really liked it. It was good. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Do not watch it with your kids. It is TV MA, and it's not too bad, but there are some scenes that, you know, just don't watch it with your kids, unless you want to. I don't know, but I'm not watching with my kid, so there's that. Stitching. I did a lot of stitching. So today I have new starts, some whips. In preparation for the new year, I went through all of my charts. You know, I like to once a year go through my charts, make sure that I still like everything that I have. I usually don't, just like now. So I pulled out a bunch of stuff. I'll be putting some stuff up on like Stash and Load and whatnot. Other stuff is just being mailed out to people. I have quite a little stack. I have a good size stack for you guys for giveaways, which will be throughout the year, of course. And I also have some, of course, that I still loved and are gonna hang out there in the 2-stitch 1-day pile. And I have a small stack of why am I not stitching this yet? So the why am I not stitching this yet pile is next to me. It would take for freaking ever to go through all of my charts. Like, I have a lot. I have them all logged in my cross stitch app. I want to say it's like around 180 something, 187 maybe. It's like barely under 200, so that's a lot. And that's like after I edited stuff out, because I pulled stuff out that I was like, I'm probably never gonna stitch this. Maybe my tastes have changed. it doesn't call to me. So that's taking that stuff out. So yeah, we're not going to do that. But I do have some that I am going to be stitching hopefully this next year, and that is what I will show you later on in the video. I also have, of course, we have our giveaway winner from last week, which was the Christmas charts with the metallic floss. So we'll do that. I have a new giveaway at the end and a little bit of plans mixed in. Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up. So, all right, get right to it. New starts. I am stitching, what's up here? Glitter Village, Glitter House number 8. I'm stitching this with my friend Carolyn Stitch and my friend Andrea. We have the whole set, and so we decided we wanted to start this on January 1st. So I did a random, close your eye, pick something, and I chose number 8 as the first one to start. It will one day look something like this, kind of, sort of. I'm stitching mine, I'm not stitching all of mine on one piece of fabric. I'm stitching them on, they will all be stitched on an opalescent fabric because they're glitter house, glitter village, so I feel like it needs glitter. So they'll all be stitched on opalescent fabric, and then they'll either be stitched a few of them on one piece of fabric if it's a bigger piece, or 1 to 2 at a time, and then I will figure out what the heck to do with them later. This one will be stitched by itself because it's on a piece of leftover fabric from the fairy that I just finished for my stepmom for Christmas. That was the Mirabilia Christmas Elf Fairy. So this glitter house is being stitched on a piece of 32 count vanilla latte linen from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So I started this on the 1st. We are here. Now the white, it's kind of coming through on camera. It comes through pretty good in person, but there's a bunch of white in there and the roof. I'm not really using the called for colors because it calls for classic colorworks, and I don't have that many classic colorworks, so if I had them, I will use them, maybe. I don't really want to use a fancy floss for just like a tiny little piece, but I will use a fancy floss for like the house, right? Because it's a whole house. So, I don't know. I just kind of pulled with what I had. So the snow, they call for bamboo. I'm stitching it in B5200. And then for the roof, let's see, they called to use Classic Colorworks Brown Hen, and I am stitching it in Cider Mill Brown. So this is where we are at. Again, this was started on January 1st. This one, I'm doing Whip Go. I did not a whole video, but I talked about it in a video a couple weeks back. So I won't go into full detail there again. But for Whip Go, they called 3 numbers. Normally they only call 2, but they called the free space, and my free space was a new start. And so, new start, this is my new start. So I will be stitching on this for 10 hours throughout this month. I may finish this in 10 hours. It's not very big, and that's okay. It's a free space, so if I finish it in under that amount of time, then great. Put an X through it, it's done. I'm also using this piece. I joined Semi-Sane Stitchers. I'm really enjoying that group on Facebook. It's a challenge group and tons of challenges. I cannot do all of those challenges, or I can't do all of them. I like challenges, obviously, but there's too many, especially with trying to keep up with the magazine monthly challenge. And so I do one of the semi-sane challenges per month, and then I'm doing a focus piece through that group. So the one that I did for January is a snowball fight. It's super fun. So you stitch on a piece, and every 300 stitches you earn a snowball, and then they give you like a little graphic that has like, here's snowball number 1, snowball number 2, whatever number it is. So they give you a little snowball graphic, and then you can throw the snowball at somebody else. And so if you throw the snowball at somebody and they get hit, then they have to dry off, and you have to stitch 100 stitches on a piece in order to dry off, so that way you can earn more snowballs and throw them at other people. So this is my snowball earning piece because it's fairly easy, so I can stitch 300 stitches. There's at least 600 stitches done on this. I know this because I've earned 2 snowballs. So 10 hours, snowball earning, new start, Glitter Village. It's like 3 different boxes. That's a good new start right there. All right, my second new start. This is a really exciting new start. Like this might be my favorite cross stitch piece to date. It's not even done yet, but I'm really excited about it. Like, really excited about it. Okay, this piece, it's a new start. I started it because I know I talked about this in the last video. I really wanted to stitch a bird wall. I'm just not a fast stitcher when it comes to samplers. Samplers aren't my favorite thing in the world. Sorry, my floss is all cattywampus over here, so I'm trying to fix it before I pick it up. Anyway, I love a sampler wall, but it's just not really me. And so what is me is birds. I love birds. My name is Robin. BirdsEyeStitches. Bird wall. So I'm starting a bird wall this year. The bird wall will continue forever. The bird wall may spread. I don't know. But I started a piece for the bird wall. I will continue stitching a piece for the bird wall. It'll stay in my rotation for the whole year. I mean, it won't be like my focus, but every month there will be a bird wall piece. I don't know if it'll be the same one or if I'll swap it. We'll see. This one will stay till it's done because I really like it. So let's just tell you what the heck it is. All right, the first one coming up is Berries and Robins by Madame Chantilly. There is 3 different patterns in this booklet. I am stitching this one here. It says home. In the same book, there's this really cute little robin with an envelope, and there's these birds on a pillow. Those are super cute, but I know I'm not gonna make a pillow. When I finish this, I will end up giving this away to you guys because I said there's 3 separate charts and I'm only stitching one of them. So if you all are interested in stitching these guys, we will do this as a giveaway at a later date and time. You won't get this chart because I'm marking on this chart, but you'll have this one and this one. Anyway. I'm stitching this on Color and Cotton's Ozark, a 32 count Belfast. I received it in one of my Fabric of the Month clubs, and this is where we are at. So this is a very quick piece to stitch because I've only put a couple of hours of stitching in on this, maybe 3. I love it though. I mean, the colors that this color Ozark, what it's called? Yeah, this nice, it's like a greenish, not gray, but it's just, it's a really nice green. It's a neutral green. If you can have a neutral green, I'd say this is it. So it's a nice neutral green. It allows all of these other colors to really shine. I'm stitching it in a mix of called for and whatever I had on hand. So let's see. The bird is not in called for. I'm stitching the bird in the Gentle Art Walnut. So this color here, this is a really great color for the bird. It's like the perfect amount of variegation for me. I like it. Then these berries are stitched in a DMC, what is this one? DMC 355 that is called for. These, I don't know if these are supposed to be snowflakes or snowballs or white dots. I don't know. I don't know what they called for, but I'm stitching them in Toasted Marshmallow. That will be the same color that's used for the word home. Normally I would use like B5200 or something like that, but because there is kind of a lot of stitching in the word home, I like the slight variegation in Toasted Marshmallow. And I also like that it was kind of a warmer color, and I just feel like the whole piece is kind of warmish. So Toasted Marshmallow. And then this tree is stitched in the color Caterpillar. That is one of the flosses that I pulled when I was asking for your guys' opinions on what to use for the temperature tree. Yes, temperature tree. That one, it didn't win for temperature tree. Obviously I'm using it here, but it's the perfect shade for this piece. So I am this far, loving every moment of it. This is also the piece that I am using if I get hit by a snowball to dry off. So semi-sane stitchers snowball fight. Say that 5 times fast, or 1 time. So if I get hit by a snowball, which I've been hit twice already, maybe more, I don't know, but at least twice, I get to pull this piece out. So this is like 3 hours worth of work tops, and we're already here. Fairly quick stitch, really excited to get it finished. I haven't really seen this piece floating around at all, which is kind of surprising because I just think it's really pretty. So excited to have it done. Okay, I have this like growing pile next to me. After I show it, I just plop it down and then I just hope it stays together. It works for me. All right, I had another new start. That was the Stitching Mommy temperature tree. Printout will look nothing like this, but that type of shape. I am stitching mine in a 32 count Jovelin in the color Awakening from BeStitch Me. I asked you guys, you know, cast your vote on what color should I use for the floss. The winning floss color was Classic Colorworks Muddy Puddle. I used all of it. I only had half of a skein left. I have more on order. It should be here any day. So I didn't get the whole tree done like I said I was going to, which was silly. I don't know why I said that. Great intentions. But I ran out of floss. Otherwise I would have continued to stitch on it. But what do you do? So I got through January. That is the important part. I got through almost all of the base of this tree, and then January branch is done and ready. I will be stitching on this on Sundays. My friend Carolyn, I saw this in her video every single week. She stitches on it on Sundays. It worked for her. I feel like that will work for me, so I'm 100% stealing that idea. And I will work on this on Sunday, so I can hopefully keep up with it. We'll see how it grows. I am using the hot temperature pack, or for the hot temps, because obviously I live in Arizona where it's hot, so going that route. I haven't actually pulled the floss, so if I don't have the called for color, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, as long as you have the same color used for that temperature span, like, it's fine. We'll figure that out when we get there. There's no leaves yet, so I haven't gotten there. We'll see how it works. Get used to seeing this tree, because every video it's coming back out. Luckily, it's really pretty. The Muddy Puddle was a perfect choice for this fabric. So I'm very green. I've got the birds on green. This is on green. I'm sensing a weird green theme. Green is not my favorite color, but maybe it's calling to me. I don't know. All right, the last thing that I worked on, not a new start, is the Pilgrim by Long Dog Sampler. It will one day look like this. One day, not today, or any day in the near future. I'm stitching mine on a piece of BeStitch Me 36 count linen in the color gray and purple. That's really the name of it. There's no, normally they all have like a fancy title, but this was just gray and purple. I'm stitching it 2/2 in white DMC. And I got through all of this. So I just stitched on this for one day. I'd had a really kind of a funky day at work, and sometimes if I have a rough day, it's nice to just stitch in one color. You know, with these long dogs, if you do it in one color, like I am this one, there's not a lot of thought that goes into it. You know, you just have to follow, which is easier said than done sometimes, but essentially I'm just following the pattern in my one piece, in my one color. I can just stitch and stitch and not have to really worry about it. So that's what this piece is for me. So this guy came out for a day and I got a chunk done. I am using this for semi-sane stitchers, the focus piece. And when it's a focus piece, the idea is you try to get through 1,000 stitches a month, maybe more. Like some people can do more than that, I don't know. But I'm gonna try to get through 1,000 stitches on this throughout this month. I haven't worked on it at all yet this month, so we'll see. Okay, that is it for new starts and whips. No finishes, maybe next week, we'll see. Plans, obviously I'm doing whip go, so my plan is to either get through the rest of my 10 hours on Glitter House or a finish. And then they called 2 other numbers, so I have my board here. So this is my whip go board. They pulled the free space, which for me was a new start. They also pulled number 6 and number 18. My number 6 is, I don't know what it's called. It's in some other language, so I call it Dandelion Ladybug. I think it's in like Russian, maybe. I don't know. Number 18 is Hark. I'm not working on Hark first. I will be doing the Dandelion Ladybug because I just had time off of work, which means when I go back to work, I'm not gonna feel like coming home and working on my 40 count over 1 gauze. No. But I will want to work on the Dandelion Ladybug. So I'll work on that some this week, just so you guys can see. This was a kit. It will look something like this. This was purchased for me by my husband. I started it over Mania. Tiny little itty bitty start. I'm here. This is not the called for fabric. I'm using the called for floss because it's a kit, but I didn't like the Aida. It was like crunchy Aida, and I don't like crunchy Aida. So this is a piece of scrap fabric. I wrote down what it was. When I work on it, I'll let you know, but it's somewhere in that bag. So I'm working on that. And then I do have some work to do for the Magazine Monthly Challenge group on Facebook. I will link that below. If you have magazines lingering in your house and you want to stitch from them, please join the group. We have a ton of fun. Every month we have an acrostic and a theme. And this month we have a pop-up challenge. We don't always have pop-up challenges, but this month we have one. It's a big one. There's a prize involved because it's a month-long big challenge, right? It's like a new year. Let's touch all the things, all the projects, whatever. So it's a big event. So that event is called Bingo. Burr because it's cold bingo. We have pulled 2 numbers so far. We pull a number every day. Most of the prompts, you have a board, each number has a different prompt attached to it. Most of them are an hour long or 100 stitches. So if you count your stitches, great, it's 100. If you don't count your stitches, then stitch for an hour, no big deal. That's how it is for most of them. There's a couple that are different, but I won't go through all of them with you because you'd be here for a long time. But I will show you the different prompts as we're working on them. So the first one that we pulled was prompt number 5, I believe, number 5. That was stitch on a piece with words. I used my robins and berries for that because it has the word home down the side. I didn't stitch the word, but that was my piece for that prompt. And then the one that we pulled for today, we pulled the number the day before. So we pulled the first on the 31st, and today's we pulled last night. We'll pull the next one here in just a few hours for tomorrow. So for today, the prompt was number 20, which is stitch in your least favorite color. I don't really have a least favorite color in general. I like all the colors, but when it comes to stitching, my least favorite color is white. And so the prompt, or what I pulled for that, is my Majestic Unicorn, which is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas, Volume 7, 2015. Looks like this. One day it will be finished, but there is a lot of white still to go. And I said my least favorite color to stitch in is white, just because I feel like it's kind of boring. I say it's my least favorite color, yet I'm stitching an entire long dog sampler in white. I had like 25 skeins of that color, so I had to use it. And it's pretty, but it's boring. It's called for sometimes. So 1 hour or 100 stitches will occur on the unicorn. I actually use this unicorn for like 5 different prompts because I think because it's full coverage, so I just don't see it growing very quickly. It doesn't speak to me, but I really want to finish the dang thing, so I just keep sticking it in anywhere that I can. So, working on that. All right, haul. I have a tiny little itty bit of haul. It's literally 2 items. So I saw Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell put out the Christmas Bird Trio. You know I had to have that. Looks like this. I ordered this one off of 123 Stitch just because they had it in stock. So that came. No chart can travel alone. So I also, when I go onto 123 Stitch, I only go on there if I'm doing an order, but I like to check their clearance fabric and the clearance fabric section. And they had this one. It's a 32 count mellow Belfast linen. I picture this plus. It's kind of a neutrally yellow. I think this piece was like $1.50 or something. So anyway, they always have fabric in that clearance section on 123 Stitch. So I will pick up a piece from there every time that I do an order, or I pick up a fancy floss I've got a lot of fabric these days, but if it's a color I wouldn't normally pick up and a clearance price, it will go to use. I mean, everything will eventually be stitched on. So I have for haul. I love these birds. I'm not going to stitch on them yet. These will likely come back out in July, you know, Christmas in July type stitching. They're just so cute. I mean, he's got a Santa hat. Yeah. Had to have it. I went to Goodwill because I go to Goodwill, and I found a really fun chart, also as a bird. It's by Perman of Copenhagen. Never heard of that, but it's a robin. When I stitch this eventually, I will not be doing this full coveragey background. Probably not gonna happen. It's pretty, I just don't think I'll do it. But I really love this bird, and I think I can probably just stitch the bird on this branch and just have that be the piece. I don't know. I need to look at the actual chart, but one day I saw it, it called to me. It's being added to the stash. One day it'll come back out. Okay, speaking of stash pile, the next thing that I have up is I have a small stack of projects that I went through my stash. Some things I will never stitch, many things I put back because one day I will stitch them, and some things jumped out like stitch me right now. I will not be stitching them right now. I really need to get some finishes because I have too much stuff. So as I get finishes done, I will be kitting from this pile sitting right here next to me. I'll choose one of those, kit it up, and get it started. So this is my possibly to be stitched in 2021 pile. Does not include any type of like sal or things like that that I already have planned to start. So in no particular order, I wanted to show these to you because some of these are kind of old and I've never really seen them before, and some of them are just really fun. So first one was Quaker Into the Forest by Michelle Inc. Needlework Designs. I think I got this last year. I don't know why I haven't started it yet. Every time I see it, I really want to stitch it. It's also on like the same greenish fabric. I think that's it. It's like the color of the fabric. If it's stitched on green, it must be my thing right now. So Quaker Into the Forest, really love that. Then from the Primitive Hair Selkie, this is really pretty and would be a fairly quick stitch. I think I picked this one up over in this last year. I have a small heart and hand woodland piece. I think that this was sent to me by my friend Andrea. Did you send this to me, Andrea? No. But this is a kit. It doesn't have the fabric, but it has the floss. And I just really love the colors. So this will come out at some point. Another holiday one is by Stony Creek Collection, Peace on Earth. This is a biggie. It's like a full coverage beast. It's not that big, I guess, but it's a full coverage one. So, but it'd be really fun. Maybe in July. I like it. I like it. A sampler. This one really jumped out at me. It's Music Amongst the Trees by Rosewood Manor. This one is gorgeous. I see people stitching this all the time on Flosstube. Every time I see it, I want to stitch it. I will stitch it this year. I'll at least start it this year. Let's put it that way. This one is Laughing in Flowers by the Victoria Sampler. The Victoria Sampler is quickly becoming one of my very favorite designers. I love everything. I went on that site to buy like one item and I bought half the collection. So this one though is beautiful. All those bright colors. I cannot wait to stitch that one. So I'm fairly high up on the list. Also by the Victoria Sampler is, I bought all of the birds. I need all the birds. This is Button Up Birdies #1. So these guys will come out. Let me get a little better picture there. I did find out, I didn't realize this at the time, all of these dang charts have specialty stitches. So I gotta learn. Yeah, because I really want to stitch them and I want them to look something like this. So yeah, I will learn this year. These will come out. All right, then I have by the Nebby Needle, Beehives Matter. This one, I just want to stitch for a friend who has bees. She has multiple beehives and I know she will really enjoy that. So I want to get that one done. This one is by Silver Creek Samplers. I don't necessarily love, like, this isn't usually called to me, you know, this type of a look. It's got a lot of letters and a lot of words, but dandelions are my favorite flower. And I like what it says. It says, take a breath, gently blow, spread your dreams and let them grow. So I really like the words there. So I might change up some colors a little bit and would like to get that one stitched. And then I have one by Alessandra Adelaide. This is Angus and Robin. Looks like this. I love this guy the moment that I saw him, and he's riding a robin, so gotta get this one stitched up. Then Nantucket Broom Ride by Not Forgotten Farm. I remember I picked this one up earlier in the year. I saw this on someone's Flosstube channel and just thought it was really interesting and fun. And it jumped out at me again, so I want to get that one started this year. All right, and last but not least, I have Lindy Stitches Birds to the Boughs. I think this was her first bird sampler. I love this one. The bright colors are beautiful. Get this guy stitched up. So that was the pile that I pulled from my stash for things that I want to start in 2021 in no particular order. They will be started and kitted up as I get through things that I'm already actively working on. And those are not necessarily the bird pieces I will be working on for the bird wall. The bird wall will be a totally separate thing that I might pull other birds for, or maybe some of those guys will end up on it. I don't know. The bird wall. So I started recording this video already, but because I didn't have enough storage, it cut me off at 30 minutes. So I started over, and I don't know if I talked about the bird wall hashtag in my first video or this one. So I'm gonna talk about it again, and I hope I'm not repeating myself. I don't know. I'm stitching a bird wall this year, and I want to get into using Instagram more. A lot of my friends all use it. My family uses Instagram all over the place. I have just never really been all that into it, but I like it. Like, I like to go on there and look at stuff, but I just have never really used it that much. So for this year, I wanted to start using it more often. And when I was talking about stitching a bird wall, a number of Flosstubers and a number of my friends either wanted to stitch a bird wall, or they wanted to stitch on pieces with birds, which, you know, all the birds are great. We could all stitch them together and it's perfect. So I wanted to make a hashtag, and at first I was thinking, okay, here's the hashtag, stitching a bird wall, you know, hashtag stitching a bird wall, because that's what I'm doing, and that's what you do. Like, you just stick a hashtag in front of blah, hashtag blah. However, people actually use Instagram. They usually have more clever and more fun things to do. And not everyone was stitching a bird wall. Like, I was stitching a bird wall, but not everybody was. Some people were just stitching birds. So I consulted with my friends who are a little bit more Instagram savvy than I am, and we came up with the hashtag of For the Birds Sal. I've used it one time with my berries and robins piece. You will see it used more as I continue to have this wall grow. But if you would like to stitch a bird wall, or if you would like to stitch a piece with birds on it, I would love to see just a whole bunch of birds. So feel free to jump in, feel free to use it, hashtag For the Birds Sal. And I didn't put 2021 or anything like that on it because in my mind, the bird wall will continue past the year. So we'll see. Okay, hopefully I didn't already give that giant spiel because I wrote it down to talk about, but then I followed my notes really well. Like, it was a really good video the first time around to the 30-minute mark. Like, I followed my notes, which I hardly ever do, but I did this time. And then it cut out. So at that point it was like, nah, I said this already. So you might have heard that already. That's okay. Okay, giveaway. We've reached the end of the video. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for sticking in. We are 37 minutes in, and my voice is telling me I need a drink of water. So, giveaway. Last week, we were giving away this tiny little booklet of Christmas charts. Came from a magazine, looks like this, has really cute stuff in there. Also giving away the metallic Madeira floss that came with it. The keyword to use was green, and the random comment picker chose Linda Ficetola. I don't know if I'm saying it right. F as in Frank, I-C-E-T-O-L-A, Linda. Linda, thank you so much for your comment and for, you put up comments before and I always love to chat with you. So thank you so much. You are the winner of both the floss and the chart. Please send me an email. My email is down below. It's just birdseyestitches@gmail.com with your address, or you can reach me on Instagram. I'm gonna try to check it. Or Instagram, also BirdsEyeStitches. So send me a message on there to get me your address and I will get that shipped out. The giveaway for this week, in the stash dive, I used to have a love of Alessandra Adelaide. I don't know if I actually say her name right, but I used to really love all of her charts. And lately, every time that I pull her charts out, they don't really speak to me that much. I mean, there's still a few that I love, like the one with the gnome guy on the robin. I'm working on New Year in the Village. I have a couple of trees that I'm working on. I still love those. But I owned a lot of other ones. Didn't love those so much. So, one of them is today's giveaway. This is All We Need by Alessandra Adelaide. It is a heart. It says, all we need is love. I had to make sure it actually said love. Sorry, it's afternoon, so the sun's starting to kind of come out through the shades, but looks like this. I would love for one of you guys to have this. It would be a very fun stitch. I think it's this shape. Like, if this was a star, which wouldn't make any sense, If it was a star, I'd be all over it. But it's a heart, and it doesn't call to me, so I hope it will call to one of you. The word is heart. So if you would like to stitch this, be 18 or older, of course, so that way you can give me your address and all of that stuff. Don't say giveaway, you know the rules at this point. Just use the word heart somewhere in your comment, and I will draw that winner at my next video, which will be in 1 or 2 weeks. Don't know yet. We'll see. Okay, that is it. Happy New Year, everybody. I will see you in a couple of weeks, and happy stitching. Bye.